Greatest basketball player ever, but former Bulls teammate, Hall of Famer Scottie Pippen, who won 6 titles with MJ, thinks he, in fact, deserves more credit for his airness's ascension. Pippen made major headlines recently when he had some scathing hot takes on what he thinks Jordan was before he joined the Bulls. Take a listen.
I seen Michael Jordan play before I came to play with the Bulls. You guys seen him play. He was a horrible player. He was horrible to play with. He was all one-on-one. He's shooting bad shots. And all of a sudden, we become a team and we start winning. Everybody forgot who he was.
Okay.
Whoa.
There's a whole lot to unpack here.
Wow.
And Tim Legler, I want to start with you because you played against those Bulls teams in the 90s. What was your reaction when you first saw this?
Just completely shocked that Scottie Pippen would take it to this extent. And look, he's had a lot of comments about MJ, particularly since The Last Dance and the documentary, and he felt very disrespected in the way he was portrayed in that. And I guess, turns out, never really felt like maybe he got enough credit for those championship teams. I disagree with that, first of all. I think he's gotten all the credit he deserves from those teams. But he has certainly taken this whole thing with Michael Jordan personally to such a level that now he's saying just ridiculous things. It's a ridiculous thing to use those kinds of words to describe Michael Jordan pre-Scottie Pippen's arrival. All right, look at the rosters that Michael Jordan played with early in his career, waiting on another player to elevate to the level that Scottie Pippen got to before they could finally win. But it was still all about, Jordan really carrying those teams. So to use words like horrible player, terrible shots, all of those things, you look foolish. Scottie Pippen looks foolish now. And it's not the first time he's looked foolish in making comments about Michael Jordan. The problem with this is, guys, you can't win this debate. You can't win this argument. Anything you say about that guy, right, immediately, if you take it to this level across these lines, now you lose all credibility. If you just take a stance like, hey, look, I felt like I wasn't given enough credit in that documentary and you're a little bit upset, you lose all credibility. If you just take a stance like, hey, look, I felt like I wasn't given enough credit in that documentary and you're a little bit upset about that because you're a competitive guy, it's fine. You can make your feelings felt on that, articulate that at the time, and then let it go and move on. The problem is, he's going to get reminded of it all the time, right? People are in your ear. The topic comes up. Maybe even his boys hype him up when he's around them about this stuff. So you want to go revisit it again. And every time you do, you feel like you got to take it further than you did the last time. And now you just come off looking insecure, petty, foolish, because you're attacking the wrong guy by using those kinds of words to describe Michael Jordan. The guy was not overrated prior to Scottie Pippen's arrival. The guy was still a great player. He just needed more help. Scottie Pippen's emergence helped them become a championship team. There's no question about it. But he's gotten all the credit he deserves throughout his career for the level of player that he was.
Wendy?
Yeah, I think one of the safest takes you could ever say on this show is that Michael Jordan was not overrated. I don't think he was overrated when he was active. I don't think he's overrated now. I think he's properly given his rating. The thing about this is, Molly, is that, I had the opportunity to work with Scottie Pippen at ESPN. He was a colleague. And we had times where we would sit together and he would talk to me about Jordan. He was a great storyteller. And I treasure those moments and what he would speak about his time with Michael. And he would talk about Michael comparison to today's stars. And I just don't believe that's the way he really feels, because that's not the Scottie Pippen that I sat with. Scottie would, talk about some downsides with Michael. And I think that Michael would agree that he wasn't the same player in his first few years as he was when he was in his prime winning the titles. I think most players are like that. He absolutely matured as a player. I think there's some merit to the concept that he did, become better, but he was never a horrible player. And I just can't believe that Scottie feels that way, because that's not the way he's been. And, probably one of the most shocking things about The Last Dance, which was amazing, was that Scottie doubled down on his position about not going into the game. and taking the last shot when Kukoc made it, and the Jordan, savaged him for it, even though Jordan wasn't on the team. Both of those were jaw-dropping, and this is the scar tissue that follows. And I kind of want to just say, I want to kind of give Scottie a decade to sort of get past that before we can, really think that he's back to giving, the way he really feels, because it doesn't match what he had said to me.
You know what's crazy is that I'm younger than both of y'all, and I grew up where I didn't have cable in my house, and at times when I did get an opportunity to watch NBA games at a young age, the only team that was on every single Sunday was the Chicago Bulls. And I remember having to put the clothes hanger on the back to fix it so the TV wouldn't be fuzzy, the old school televisions. And those guys were both fun to watch. I'm not about to even get into the greatness of Michael Jordan because I believe we don't have to. We know when it comes to one of the greatest players to ever touch the damn basketball, if not the greatest player to ever touch the basketball, he's definitely in that conversation, and I'm not talking about Scottie Pippen. Here's my thing with Scottie. You're 57 years old, man. At what point in your life are you going to find peace within yourself? Jordan is 60. These are the times that you're supposed to be riding off into the sunset. Why are we still living this moment? I actually played with two guys that had beef, two Hall of Famers. They're 47 years old, KG and Ray Allen. And they had beef about Ray moving to Miami, and we know the story that they hadn't spoke. And all of a sudden, I seen Ray Allen pull up to the KG jersey retirement, and they embraced each other, and the look on Kevin Garnett's face was priceless when he saw Ray Allen there sitting across the court when they put him on the Jumbotron, because he happened to be sitting next to me talking about Ray. And I heard KG on this show talk about if something was to happen to Ray tomorrow, how hurt he would be and how he glad that they got back on good terms. And we're talking about 47-year-old men. Scottie Pippen is 57. 57. Jordan is 60. Stop it, man. I'm not telling them that they got to go play golf together. I'm not telling them that they got to go sit on one of Jordan resorts or his houses on one of his, islands or whatever the case may be. But at some point, you got to find peace within yourself. And to me, it was just sad watching Scottie speak on Jordan like that and even talk like that. It was sad because those guys won 6 titles together. And if anybody who have played the game of basketball know how hard it is to win a damn championship and be considered one of the best duos to ever do it, it's those two. And I just feel bad because Scottie is just in a different place. I'd rather not speak on that right now, but he just need to find peace within himself.
Tim?
Yeah, I think, look.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Wendy.
I echo what Perk just said. It's better for the game of basketball when Scottie and Michael are together. This didn't help anybody.
Tim?
Yeah, look, for me, it's sad. I think that's the best word. Anytime people achieve greatness and you end up at the end of it with fractured feelings, broken relationships, pain, bitterness, resentment, it's just sad. And, it's like, a band, right, that accomplishes all these things. And at the end, you end up nobody speaking to each other anymore. And it just makes you sad because we admired these teams so much. I played against these teams. My entire career was the decade of the 90s.
Yeah.
They won 6 championships. You admire them, and it just does take away from the way you now look back on what they were accomplishing together when Scottie Pippen goes at him like this. You hope there will be healing one day, and that somehow they can reconcile this. I don't know.
And I wonder how much social media and everyone having opinion plays a role in getting to Scottie as well. We'll leave it there. But yes, peace, key word, Perk, peace.